Good morning. It's a little after 4 a.m. on Sunday, 22 February 2026. And we've got the chart here to walk through our plan for getting from Turks and Caicos down to the Dominican Republic. So we're up here in Providenciales, which is the big island on the northwestern corner of the Turks and Caicos. We're going to come out of our marina, and we're going to hug the coast and transit that north coast to our first waypoint, which is on the northeast corner of East Caicos. And that should be midnight tonight. We should achieve that. At that point, we're going to turn south down Turks Island Passage, which is the body of water between the Caicos Islands and Grand Turk, which is to your right on the east of the line between the waypoints here. And our next turning point will be at 0600 on Monday, tomorrow. We should be just west of Sand Key, Big Sand Key, I think it is. We'll make a slight turn, but still headed mostly south until we're about 35 miles northeast of the coast of the Dominican Republic. That's really right around Luperon, where that cursor is right there on the screen. If you're familiar with Luperon, that's a typical landing spot where people who are making this trip head to. We're going to try to get all the way out to Samana Bay on the far east side of the island, as you'll see in a minute. So from that third waypoint, that'll be 1800 on Monday. We head to the next waypoint, which is 0600 on Tuesday. And finally, 1800 on Tuesday. We hope to be right here off the north coast of that little peninsula. You can see that little finger sticking out with the two prominent features on the east. That's Samana Peninsula. And then we have to round that headland and go into the bay. Okay, so that's the plan. We're going to start later this morning when the Marina facility's open, because we have to get fuel before we leave. Otherwise, we're ready to go. And now let's take a quick look at windy. Right now, windy says 11 knots from the east. I'm going to leave a little later here. Say 11 o'clock, 10 knots from the southeast. Two-foot wave heights right outside the entrance here through the reef. And if we dial this up to midnight, we should be right there off the northeastern tip. And it's looking like 5 knots from the south. 4-foot wave heights from the east. At this point, we're going to, as we described before, turn south down Turks Island Passage. It's going to continue to be light and variable winds. This should be around 0600. So hardly any wind here in the simulation, 3 knots. 3-foot wave height. And Monday, let's get to around 1800. And this position is probably right somewhere right about there. 10 knots from the northwest. 2-foot wave heights. Continuing on. This is around 0600 on Tuesday. You can see the front coming in from the upper left there from the northwest. That's what we're trying to beat into Samana Bay. Wave heights here, very small, 2 feet. We continue motoring in. Here's the last waypoint. This should be around 1800 near sunset. And we're starting to feel the effects of that front at this point. Hopefully we can be a little bit ahead of schedule here, but the wind is starting to build, and so is the sea state. And so we're just going as fast as we can here to turn that headland and get inside of Samana Bay as quickly as we can. So that's what the weather looks like. It's going to be about a 45-hour period with light and variable winds and a sea state that we can motor in. And so we're going to go. And the reason we don't want to go to Luperon, and there's also another marina here up by Puerto Plata. I think it's called Marine World, maybe. And the reason we don't want to hit those are the normal spots that you'd go to, people who are on this path go to, is that you still have to transit the north coast of the Dominican Republic to get to Samana, to set yourself up to cross the next body of water over to the west coast of Puerto Rico, and that's right in here. This is called Mona Passage, and so that has to still be crossed. And if you can get to Samana Bay outright in one shot, you're saving yourself the additional, waiting for a window and hassle of having to transit this whole north coast here, which is not easy because the prevailing winds are in your face the whole time. We're pretty far. We'll be pretty far south at this point. We'll be south of 19 degrees latitude once we get to Samana Bay. So we're almost in the Caribbean. The south coast of the Dominican Republic, the south coast of Puerto Rico, that's the boundary with the Caribbean. So we're approaching the Caribbean, and the trade winds are pretty persistent right now. So finding windows where we can motor directly into the wind is getting harder and harder. So we're going to try and make this all in one shot to Samana, and that hopefully will save us, could save us a week or more of waiting for another window. So that's the plan, and we're going to get the boat ready to go, and we'll see you in a few hours. Getting ready to go. About an hour and a half until the fuel dock opens, and then we can make our move. So we're sitting here at the fuel dock. We needed to load diesel this morning, and apparently the battery which powers the diesel pump is in need of replacement. Okay, 0936, and we're underway. So we're officially through the reef entrance now, and we'll be in the open ocean in a few minutes. So it's been blowing 17, 18 knots all day, right on the nose, with 3 to 4 foot waves crashing into the bow. It's completely not what was predicted. Passing over the top of Middle Caicos right now, and the sun should be down in about an hour and 30 minutes. So we'll be going into our first overnight in a little while. So we're about 25 miles off the coast of the Dominican Republic, and we're getting ready to go into our second overnight period. Nothing much happened today, just more banging into waves. Our fuel consumption is up because of all the waves we're banging into. So I loaded 3 5-gallon cans of our spare fuel, reserve fuel, into the internal tank today, so that's good. We still have an additional 3 cans in reserve, and we have currently over a half a tank, so I think we've got enough to get in without another refill. We'll see. Very calm, but it's a little rolly out here. I can see lots of clouds over in the direction of the Dominican Republic. There's potential for squalls tonight. Max 30-knot gust squalls, so not particularly super scary, but you know, still something we're going to keep an eye out for. And we're all very tired here, and it looks like the timing is going to be as we thought. We're not going to get into the Marina before they close at 5. It doesn't look like it, as far as all the little hand computations that I can make. So particularly we're operating at lower RPM now to conserve fuel. So we're just eking out 5 knots speed over ground. The ETA, I would say tomorrow, is probably going to be around 1900. Drop the hook. It looks like there's a little anchorage right next to the Marina, literally right next to it. And so that's where we'll go. We'll just slide right in there. We'll drop the hook and we'll crash. And then the morning, that would be Wednesday morning. We'll call the Marina people and go in and get our slip. But tomorrow's going to be a whole day. It looks like just getting in. So we've got another 28 hours to go until we get into Samana Bay. So that's the status for today. Just nothing really exciting to report. We saw a tanker get about 5 miles away from us. That's the only other human activity that we've seen today. So we'll pick it up in the morning, and later in the afternoon it should be something to film as we pull into Samana Bay. So you can see there's a traffic jam right around that point on the Dominican Republic's northeast shore. It's Cape Francis Viejo, and a lot of boats are trying to get as close to that as possible, some going east like us, some going west. So I have to keep an eye on this local accumulation point as we proceed. There's the lights from the shoreline. We're only about 4 or 5 miles off the shore right now, and we're getting a little rain, some rain squall action out here as well, just to add to the mix. It's 0300. So we're about 15 miles from the headland, and that is that basically is like Samana Peninsula. We're going to the underside of that, so we have to round that headland all the way and enter the bay. There's a sailboat behind us. There's a sailboat up in front of us. They're probably headed in as well, because remember there's that big front that's coming down this afternoon. It's going to start, and it's going to be, it's very calm out here right now, but you're going to see 6 to 8 foot waves out here by probably tonight. So it's going to be very lively. So everybody's beating feet into the sheltered area. I loaded our 3 reserve cans, so another 15 gallons of reserve fuel. All of it's in now, and I did that so that I could increase RPM, and we're doing over 6 knots now. There's a chance that I can get into the Marina before the staff leaves. They leave at 1900, and there's even a chance we could get in as early as 4, like 1600. So I decided to commit our reserves and crank up the RPMs, and we're gonna try and get into the Marina tonight, which would be preferable to sitting on the anchor until the morning. There's the sailboat behind us. There's about 5 knots of true wind out here today, so I'm not sure why he has his sails up, because that's really not enough wind to even keep them from flapping. But I get it. If you've got a sailboat, you want to sail. I feel the same way. But I think I think with this, moving the boat through the eye of the wind down here to this track to the Caribbean, you really have to take the delivery skipper's approach. Very utilitarian. It's all motor. Strap as much fuel as you can on deck, and you just motor into the wind. You get there, and you don't worry about sailing. You You worry about that later after you arrive. So that's the philosophy we've taken here on Wallaby. The Dominican Republic is in view. We're about 5 miles off the coast right now. It's a big island. We're headed, if you can see it, I'm not sure on the video, but we're headed to the very tip of that shadow. That's the headland. And we're going to turn right there. Making pretty good time. Hopefully we'll be in the Marina tonight. That's the goal. Very nice ending to the trip here. It sure didn't start out very good. That first night was rough. A lot of bumping around. 17, 18, 20 knot wind in our face the whole time. Passing Cabo Cabron, which is the northernmost of these two little promontories that define the northeast corner of the Dominican Republic. It's a little bit of a reef off that point. Extends out for maybe half a nautical mile on the chart. So we're about a nautical mile out in deep water. We're crossing this bay down to the next promontory where we're going to hang a right, and that's the run-in for the Samana Bay entrance. Hispaniola is a massive island, of course. This is no Bahamas Island here. Big mountains in the central region, and of course the DR's on the east side, and Haiti is on the west side. Make sure I got it on video. Wallaby's basically at flank speed. Punta El Pesquero de Francisco. And that's the other side of the little claw hook on the northeast corner here. Got breaking reef out there, so we got to give that a little bit of a wide berth. But we're hanging a right, and then going down that coastline, pretty close to the coast. And down there we'll make another right, and that's the entrance to Samana Bay. This guy just pulled right in front of me, and I had to take evasive action. Officially around the headland, making our way towards the bay entrance. Marina sighted. It's about 3.5 miles ahead off the starboard bow. So we're getting ready to pull into the marina. The wind's blowing like 15. That front has arrived. We didn't get here in time to miss the wind coming into the marina, which is always a tradition for Wallaby. Okay, I'm going to kill the engine, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, not bad. Okay, so we've landed okay, cleared customs and immigration and the Navy. So it looks like we're going to be here for a while, maybe like 2 weeks or so. There is nothing on the horizon that looks plausible for a Mona passage crossing. So I'll update you when I have more information. See you later.